What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Magic Game World. 2026 is officially here, and honestly, what better way to kick off the year than by shining a light on a subgenre that constantly flies under the radar, werewolf games. We don't exactly get a massive flood of these titles, but there are some seriously cool games worth talking about right now. Today, we're breaking down 8 new and upcoming werewolf games from the last few years through 2026, plus one old but gold classic you've got to check out. Let's dive in. First up is the one we've been waiting a literal decade for, The Wolf Among Us 2. This episodic adventure from Telltale is the direct sequel to the 2013 cult classic, picking up about 6 months after the original story wrapped. Now, the road to this release has been, well, rocky to say the least. Telltale eventually took full control of the project and rebuilt the whole thing from the ground up in Unreal Engine 5. Even with all the delays, fans are hyped, especially with Adam Harrington and Aaron Yvette officially back as Bigby and Snow. It's looking like 2026 is finally the year we get to head back to Fabletown. Next on the list is Volkolak, The Will of the Gods, which dropped back in August 2025. This is a 2D Soulsvania set in a dark, gritty Slavic fantasy world. The hand-drawn, frame-by-frame animation is absolutely stunning, but what really stands out is the focus on player choice. You can play as a noble warrior or fully embrace the curse and go full Volkolak. The werewolf transformation isn't just for combat either. It's actually key to exploration and interacting with mythic figures like Baba Yaga. If you're into folklore-heavy worlds with high stakes, don't sleep on this one. Coming out later this year is Shadows of the Werewolf. This is a cinematic survival horror experience that's just packed with tension. You play as a couple trying to survive a night being hunted by a relentless werewolf, along with a few other nasty surprises. The settings move from quiet suburban homes to deep forest retreats, and the combat is heavily physics-based. You're not on a power trip here. You're blocking doors, setting obstacles, and hoping your breakable weapons last until dawn. It's all about resource management and that constant heart-in-your-throat atmosphere. At number 4 is Slain 2, The Beast Within, also slated for later this year. This is a brutal gothic hack-and-slash where you play as Prince Akron, the last of the Wolf Knights. Armed with a sentient blade called Bathorin, you're fighting across a pixelated galaxy against the forces of Lord Vrol. The vibe here is pure heavy metal. The combat blends elemental melee with a feral transformation system, letting you unleash some devastating abilities under the full moon. If you want high-impact combat and a killer soundtrack, keep this one on your radar. Next up is Werewolf the Apocalypse, Earthblood. In this one, you play as Kahal, an exiled Geru looking for redemption while taking on a corrupt megacorporation. The gameplay is built around a 3-form system. You've got the human form for talking to NPCs, the wolf form for stealth, and the massive Krynos form when it's time to stop talking and start shredding. Between the solid skill tree and the rage management system, it really nails the raw power and the danger of the beast within. At number 6 is an indie gem called Project Moonborn. This is a fast-paced 2D roguelike platformer where you play as a werewolf den mother on a mission to rescue her kidnapped pups from a space prison. The movement here is incredibly fluid, with lots of wall jumps, pounces, and twitch reactions. Between runs, you head back to your den to train your pack and show off your trophies. The retro pixel art style is high energy, but the story is actually surprisingly emotional. Seventh is Ravenswatch. While it technically hit its full launch in late 2024, the devs have been rolling out major updates all the way into 2026, so it's still very much worth your time. This is a top-down roguelike featuring twisted versions of folk heroes. The standout for us is Scarlet, their take on Little Red Riding Hood. By day, she's a quick-footed rogue, but once night falls, she transforms into a powerhouse werewolf with an entirely different moveset. It's a blast to play, especially if you've got a crew for co-op. Number 8 is a total curveball, the WereCleaner, which came out in 2024. This is a stealth comedy game starring Kyle, a janitor who just happens to be a werewolf working the night shift. Your goal is simple: clean the office without eating your coworkers. It's got a really clever NPC system and levels packed with secret paths that make it surprisingly addictive. It's definitely a lighter take on the genre, but the replayability is huge. Finally, for our old but gold pick, we have Sang-Froid, Tales of Werewolves. Co-written by a best-selling author, this game is set in a 19th century world inspired by dark Canadian folklore. It blends action and strategy in a really unique way. During the day, you're planning defenses and laying traps to protect your sister. At night, you have to execute that plan, using wind direction, bait, and positioning to outsmart the wolves. The fear factor mechanic is the best part. It actually lets you use intimidation to win a fight. It's a classic for a reason. And that's the list. 8 new and upcoming werewolf games to sink your teeth into in 2026, plus one classic that's still totally worth a revisit. Thanks for hanging out with us at Magic Game World. If this list helped you find your next game, hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into titles you might have missed. See you in the next one.